Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss regarding non-relational database, their pro and cons, and why is it needed to it. Most database can be categorized as either relational or non-relational database. Non-relational database are sometimes referred to as NoSQL, which stands for not only SQL. The main difference between these is how they store their information. A non-relational database stores data in an non-tabular form and tends to be more flexible than the traditional SQL-based relational database structure. It does not follow the relational model provided by traditional relational database management systems. Non-relational database, often called NoSQL databases, are no non-relational database often perform faster because a query doesn't have to view several tables in order to deliver an answer, as relational database often do. Non-relational database are therefore ideal for storing data that may be changed frequently or for applications that handle many different kinds of data. Now coming to the pros and cons of non-relational database. Pros: performance. NoSQL database can often outperform SQL database simply because all the information is contained inside one database. Whereas with SQL, you might have to query data across multiple tables. With NoSQL, everything is nestled inside of one. So things move fast. Second one is scalability. Probably the second biggest positive of NoSQL is that it's horizontally rather than vertically scalable. With SQL, the only way for you to upgrade the hardware is to buy higher end and more expensive stuff such as CPUs and RAM. With NoSQL, that's not an issue because you can just chuck another shared on and you have scaled it. Flexibility. Due to the non-rigid nature of NoSQL, it's much easier to test ideas and updates. This is essential in model applications where fields can vary and data structure needs uh, changes need to be easy and fast. Data models. Interestingly, NoSQL is more of philosophy than a specific data model and has several data models beneath it. As such, these data models tend to be incredibly specialized in specific use cases, allowing them to outperform relational databases. Cons: not mature. Probably the biggest downside um, of NoSQL is that it's not as mature as SQL. Sure, it's been around since the 70s and and started to become popular in the 2000, but the truth is that SQL has had massive amount of investment time and effort poured into it. So what does that mean? Well, simply put, it just isn't the easy to find the kind of information and support on NoSQL as you would be SQL. For example, if you're looking for an expert to consult on a project, it would be much easier to find an SQL expert than a NoSQL expert. Requires multiple database. As mentioned above, NoSQL isn't it as much as hammer as it is scalpel. That means that it's made to be very specialized for specific use cases and not necessarily meant as catch all huge databases. This one isn't it as big the problem as it used to be, but since NoSQL isn't designed to remove data duplication, database sizes can become truly massive. Again, with how cheap storage is these days, it's not that big an issue, but it's something to keep in mind. As you can see, NoSQL is incredibly versatile and has almost unlimited use cases as a specialized database can fill smaller and smaller niches. That being said, NoSQL is more of a design philosophy and isn't necessarily meant to replace SQL, especially since SQL is so established in the modern world. It would be near impossible to get rid of it. The purpose of NoSQL is to make our lives easier when handling large amount of data and to offer data models that allow us to be more efficient and have better performance than the traditional SQL database when dealing with massive database. So I recommend to change to NoSQL database. Thank you.